At Arizona State University, we've made online education better, smarter, and more personalized so you can go further in your aspiring field.
I decided to pursue medicine once I realized that ASU did have the online program for biological sciences. You're still required to learn the same curriculum. You're still being tested on the same content that anyone would be tested on in person. The comprehensiveness of the program prepared me so well for medical school.
Explore over 300 programs at asuonline.asu.edu. At Arizona State University, we're bringing world-class education from our globally acclaimed faculty to you. Ranked #1 in innovation for 10 consecutive years and #2 among public universities for employability. ASU isn't just ahead of the curve, it's creating new paths to success. Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online, that's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu. With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online, that's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
If you love entertainment, current events, and Hollywood, don't miss Creator to Creators, hosted by the filmmaker Meosha, known for the Shudder hit documentary Horror Noir and the acclaimed film Anatomy of an Anti-Hero, Redemption. This show features interviews with filmmakers and creatives from around the globe. Join the fun with guest celebrities and gain valuable insights. Subscribe now and follow Creator to Creators.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Creators to Creators today. Today we have a special guest.
Loraine.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on. I'm super excited to talk to you. I love talking to creatives, and for me, the most exciting part of the journey, I always say, like when we're kids, I always say the things that we pick up along the way, kind of chart our trajectory in life, right? Little small habits that we pick up along the way follow us into our adulthood. Tell me a little bit about your childhood. What was that like? And when did you find the love for music, and how did you get into it?
Oh yeah, that started really early because I grew up in a musical family, and I started singing with my mom. She was a music teacher. She was a regular teacher as well, but she did like the music classes for the kids of all ages. And she would always bring home songs, and she would always be, doing music with me and dances and singing. And then it was like no brainer. I was just gonna learn an instrument because that's what you do. And I started learning clarinet, and I played that for quite a while. And just grew up with always playing in orchestras, and music was the biggest part of my social life for sure. And then later on, I added some guitar and piano and songwriting. And I always loved singing. I've always been singing, doing many concerts in my room.
I love it.
Really.
That's awesome. No, I think it's so cool that, you were doing mini concerts. I feel like I was, creating films when I was a kid. Like I was all the characters on set. So it was just like I was with this little production. But yeah, it's amazing that you found the love for it so early. Would you say that once you found the love for that, and you kind of grew up around music, did you kind of, when would you say you found your sound, like the how like every artist has like a something
Yeah.
that stamps their signature on like their on their voice. When did you discover that? Like, okay, this is the kind of music I want to sing or perform.
That was kind of later on because it's only from my early 20s that I started to write songs. Because I always, that's why, I grew up in a family where, I mean, most families are like, go to college, get a good job. You
Yeah.
can, you can do music as a hobby. Um,
Mm.
but I don't know. I kept searching and I kept developing. And then yeah, it's I started to just mess around a little bit with melodies. And then I grew into more and just like, okay, I can actually really write songs and then you can really become an artist. It's kind of different than just being a singer. Not that
Yeah.
that's bad or anything, that's great too, but there's so much more you can do with it then. So yeah, that was kind of later on. And I just kind of wrote whatever came up in my mind, just randomly maybe even.
Mhm.
And it grew into a sound without trying to create a sound, I think.
I
Just
love that.
naturally developing into myself, I guess. Yeah.
I love that this the natural progression. Um,
Yeah.
um, I wonder, what being from Netherlands and raised in Belgium. I wonder, was music very was it a big thing there?
Yeah, it is a big thing. I think, I mean, of course, not everybody grows up with it, but I'm not sure, but I feel like in definitely in high school in the States, it's
Mhm.
not the most popular thing to do to be like a
Yeah.
band kid, right? It's my husband's always joking. He played the trumpet for a little bit, but then he went into sports and kind of left that behind because that was cooler. And, he was
Right.
with that. But yeah, and it's different in Europe. It was kind of a cool thing to do. It wasn't like it's not like the band kit kind of thing, and you have like really proper music education
Mm,
for children. Yeah, and it's really a whole social life, and it's really cool to do. And I
that's
think
awesome.
the band and orchestras, that lives a little bit more. Of course, there's a lot here too in the States, but it just lives more on all levels. Like I think you have like, I'm not sure, but here in the States, it's like it's the band level at school, or you really go into some serious orchestras and classical music on a really high level. But I feel
Mhm.
like there's a way bigger range in between in Europe, as far as I know. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. You know, let's get into your new song, your single, Magic Man. I really enjoyed it. I didn't know what to expect when I played it. I was like, whoa. I was very pleasantly surprised. It was very cool. I just started dancing, just sound filled the room. It was like just so fun. Um,
Thank
tell us a little bit about that, like the inspiration behind it, and how involved were you in making this new single, Magic
Yeah, it's actually I wrote the song quite a while ago, like maybe a decade ago.
Man? Holy
Um,
moly.
yeah, it's because the other songs are pretty recent, but for some reason I just felt like it should be on the new EP.
Yeah, it
And
sounds really good.
yeah,
Like very
yeah,
fresh.
knew I needed to do something with it. But yeah, I wrote it a long time ago. At that time, I was nannying for four little girls,
Oh.
in the States here, and they were all very engaged in like fairies and magical worlds and princesses and mermaids and all of that. And that I guess that kind of inspired the idea of Magic Man. And I just was messing around with two chords on the guitar and yeah, there we go.
That's amazing. That's amazing. It's interesting like that how songs and how music, depending upon where you are in your life, inspires it comes out of it, what music comes out of it, right? Like the stages that you're
Yeah,
are in your
definitely.
life. Um,
Definitely.
I find that always very, very cool. So this is ahead of like an upcoming EP, like you're going to be releasing that for next year. Power from Love.
Yes, Power from Love. It's gonna be released January 3rd, so in 1 week.
Nice. All right, that's
Yeah.
exciting. Yeah, I love the description, like a blend of soulful electronic pop. That sounds super awesome and like very, very fun, like totally up my alley. Um, Tell me, what was that journey like, and what could we expect without giving so much away, but what can we expect from that and like kind of topics that you tackle on this EP?
Yeah, it starts with opening song is Rise Up, and it's kind of like um kind of a rise from the dark kind of feel.
Mhm.
Rise from shadows. Yeah, and then it grows into being a little more inspiration, not more inspirational, but just goes along on the journey of inspiration and finding your own power, your inner strength,
Mm,
not giving up. Yeah, and then the last song, it's also already been released as a single. It's Starlight, which
nice.
is a ballad. And that's a little bit about the journey of me and my husband, who had to wait for 1.5 years to actually move in together because I had to wait
Oh.
to come here to the States from Belgium. But yeah, it's like a journey of rising up into power and then kind of finding love. That's that's the journey.
I love that. And I think that's a beautiful thing, like empowerment. And I think that's always, really, really cool topic. And I think, I think with, the music nowadays is just so I feel like it's so saturated, right? There's always
Yeah.
new music popping out of everywhere, and it's hard to really consume it because it's like everything sounds so like the same. But with this, it just sounds so different. It's like, oh wow, it makes you want to stop and take a
That's
like a listen, you know.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I was actually kind of thinking about that last week. I'm like, gosh, me myself, I have not discovered that much new music the last year or the last years anymore, at least less than I did before because it's so saturated and it's like, oh, you can't, it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
Uh and
At Arizona State University, we've made online education better, smarter, and more personalized so you can go further in your aspiring field.
I decided to pursue medicine once I realized that ASU did have the online program for biological sciences. You're still required to learn the same curriculum. You're still being tested on the same content that anyone would be tested on in person. The comprehensiveness of the program prepared me so well for medical school.
Explore over 300 programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
yeah, I do feel that way. I mean, I'm sure everybody thinks their music is unique and stands out. But I do really feel like it's kind of different than a lot of stuff that is out there. So I hope that
Mhm.
will get some recognition, as you say. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's true. I think, and I think that I think you can tell a difference, right? From music that is just trendy and it's just there. It's here today, gone tomorrow kind of thing. But the kind of music that people put their heart and soul in, it just feels different. Like it's something, it resonates with you. Um, when you listen to it, like it takes you somewhere versus I feel like that's the difference between, like you can listen to like a Whitney Houston song and
Hmm.
you still feel
Yeah,
that thing.
absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah, kudos to you for wanting to put music out that you care, like and it comes off that way when you listen to it. Like I think a lot of people don't really care, if that makes sense.
I do.
So yeah,
Oh, no. I hope they find a way to care, but yeah,
you
I
know.
yeah,
So yeah,
absolutely.
I think that's super refreshing. Thank you.
No worries.
Yeah. So it's cool because I when I was listening to it, I was like, wow, all these like sounds and things. How involved are you in the process of, when you're making this song? Were you in there with the producers? Were you like, or are you just kind of like, I'm just gonna do the vocals, I'm gonna write, that's about all I do? Or are you like kind of involved in like everyone's job?
Yeah, I'm definitely involved in the sound. But yeah, I mean, I have to say, I have to be very grateful to my producer because she's very patient with me because yeah, it's a back and forth, and this CP was it's kind of a took a while to find the right sound for it. But yeah, I just kept looking, and it just I think it came out great, and yeah, she did a great job with the electronic production. Yeah, made it all sound like a whole, but it's all five songs are individually different as well.
Hmm.
But they're yeah, definitely the first song, Rise Up of the EP is a pretty big electronic production that grows during the song, which yeah, I'm
Hmm.
really proud of it. Took a long time to get there to go back and forth, but yeah, I think it turned out really great.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think I find artists that are very involved and like have their hands in all the process, like down to the instruments and all of that, just seeing how everybody and how everything sounds and moves. I find that those are the ones that stay around a long time, like I know it's like you
Yeah,
said, it's hard. You're really happy the producer, she was happy, she has patience because it does take patience, but it's like it's perfecting the work, and that shows that that there's that extra care that you want to put that love and that you know that kind of artistry in your music. So yeah, it's definitely it's a great I think um attribute, right, to have.
yeah, it's the and you have a vision as an artist, and sometimes
Yeah.
that's the fun thing about collaborating. It's because, for example, Magic Man was I had it in my head as an acoustic because I wrote it so long ago, and I was attached to the acoustic version, and I didn't expect the electronic that came out of it, so I had to adjust to it. But now I really love it, and like so because sometimes you need to kind of detach, let go of your ideas a little bit also. But yeah, it's cool to see what it grows into, all of it.
I love that. Are you, and I love that this message about, belief in power and manifesting and creating one's own reality. Um, do you consciously, when you look to work with people, are you looking to work with a lot of women? Because I think that's, I mean, I don't think I've heard or hear much about women producers. And I hear a lot of men that do it in
Mhm.
making this song, but I find that that's so it sounds really epic, like, and
Yeah,
the fact that it's a woman, that's incredible.
yeah, it is. I'm very lucky because she kind of came on my path, and it was a match for sure in terms of musical collaboration as a person too, for sure. But I know I was just lucky to that she came on my path, and she's really awesome. She makes her own music as well.
That's amazing.
But yeah, it's just fun. Yeah, fun to work together too.
I love that. So I have a fun question for you. If you could sit down and have a coffee with any artist, living or dead, who would it be and why? And what question would you ask them on the coffee date?
That's a good question. Mm, gosh, it would have to be Taylor Swift because she's like pretty much the biggest artist in the world. I feel at least the biggest artist in the world. Um, I don't know. I would ask her to be on stage there too, but no, probably what does it feels like? What is the impact of? Because what is the impact of being such a phenomenon like in the world? Like what is that? do with your mind, or what is that? She grew into it for sure, but what is I'm curious the impact of that, to the impact of that.
Right. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, and that's a great one. I love Taylor. I think she's, you know, um absolutely incredible, and she's so young, so I'm sure that's right there. It's like a even scarier thing to have so that weight, right? Like of so many people. And you can't mess up, or if you do mess up, it's like everyone knows. So
Yeah,
I
that
can't I can't
too.
imagine. I can't imagine.
Yeah.
But I guess you just have to love it at the end of the day, right? And I think that's for any artist. Like when you're putting your art out to the world, the feedback, right? Is that something that you do you crit do you like are you nervous about feedback, or do you embrace it?
I'm not nervous about it. I would definitely embrace it. It's just I'm curious about it mostly. I'm just
Yeah,
curious. Yeah.
that's great. I love that. Um, so another fun question. Again, no wrong answer, but the three levels of influence: money, power, and respect. And if you could choose only one of those things, which one would you choose and why?
Well, I guess you would always choose respect, right? You don't want to go into power or money without respect.
That's a good
Is that?
answer.
I'm not sure if I understand the question totally right,
No,
but
no,
what
that's
other
right.
thing has more influence? That is a different answer, probably.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I
That's
would.
the thing. This
Yeah.
question can go either. That's why it's like no wrong answer, right? It can go either way, right? Because there's pros and cons in each of them, right? Respect, right? It's great to be respected, but like, how do we know we're respected by everyone? Like, there's no way to meet all the fans, right? And then there's money, where money is, runs the world, but then money can also corrupt. And then there's power, which there's a balance, right? Or that can also cause corruption. So there's really whatever one that it stands out to you, if you could have, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
But I like it. Respect is a good answer.
Yeah, with hopefully comes with the right kind of power that
Right.
I write about, right? Yeah.
Exactly. I think power is, I think it all really just debate. I think it's really just depends on the person. I feel like depends on who the person is. I feel like, it depends on uh how you see the world, and how you move. Because I feel like some people can balance it, and then there's
Mhm.
others that it just destroys, as we see from time to time in the history of the entertainment world.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It really, I mean, they always say that, whatever is going on for you, if you get famous, it just magnifies that. So, if you have struggle with anger, the angers just get bigger. If you struggle with whatever addiction's just getting bigger, or also the good things, it just magnifies whoever you are, I guess. So it's good
Absolutely.
to work on that first.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. I read too that the EP Power from Love, which explores the concept of embracing one's personal power, and finding strength and love, stillness, and self-worth. How important is self-worth to you?
It is very important. I think it determines the quality of our lives for sure. It determines whatever we attract in life and how we feel in life. So I think it's very important.
Love that. Which song on the EP is your favorite, and which one do you enjoy? Like, which one did you have more fun like writing and you enjoy the most? Or do you have a favorite?
That's always hard to say.
You're like, they're all great. Come on.
I for sure the two singles, Starlight and Magic Man. And then I also really love Rise Up because it's such a cool production, and just really cool. And
Yeah.
yeah, and just well, I don't know. That's just really hard to say because yes, I do love all the songs and the title song, Power from Love. Yeah, I'm really I think the lyrics are fun as well. Yeah, I think so. I didn't give you really an answer here, but
No, 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 these are great.
yeah, I do like them all.
I love that. I love that. So so you're in Portland, Oregon. How is that? How's the music scene out there?
I haven't been around because I've been here for like 6 months so far.
Oh,
So I haven't been
okay.
around too much yet. But I mean, there's some really cool little places for gigs and concerts to go on.
Nice.
Um, yeah, I think it's a big variety of all kinds of music genres. I'm thinking like I don't know, I've met some people, there's some underground stuff going on, of course a lot of country and folk as well. But yeah, it's so far so good.
I love that. No, that's a beautiful thing. I love Portland, Oregon. It's such a beautiful place. Like, oh my gosh, like I love visiting there. It's like the people are just so warm and it's very
The
charming.
people are really friendly, yeah, definitely.
Definitely. So, um, you also you do through do you coach like music or is it do you coach people in
It,
music or is it just
it's life coaching. So it's
okay.
life coaching, and then I combined the two mostly in singing circles,
Okay.
where people come together and I'll sing some melodies and have like a couple people sing harmonies, and then we sing affirmations. So that's
Oh
like a
wow.
and people bring songs that mean a lot to them. We do that too. So yeah, that's a really cool healing merging way of music and life coaching. Yes.
Yeah, no, that's beautiful. I think that's absolutely incredible. I think, I was reading something, some article and they were talking about, just how important it is to have, especially the industry that we're in, of entertainment, so important to have that circle, that circle that uplifts, that heals, that's really good for your mental health. I think it's so good to have that in this really up and down business that we're in.
Yes, yes, and the direct connection, because there's so much has to go through social media, but it's great to have, the in-person connection as well, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so healthy. I mean, would you say for, as an artist, because I just took a break myself off of social media for about like almost like a month. I took like a while off of social media. I was like just disconnected from everything. I mean, literally, and it's amazing how like your when you do disconnect, you do have so much peace and clarity,
Mhm.
and um also there's so many things that come up just with self and things that maybe we run from that we consume with social media or because social media kind of tells this. I mean, it's really like a highlight reel that we see people post the highlights of their life, and that's not the reality of it, and it's easy to fall victim to that, in a subconsciously, right? We're just kind of influenced by that. So I took a break and I was like, whoa, like
Mhm.
yeah, social media plays a huge part on our mental health.
Absolutely. Well, that's really good. Yeah. I think everybody should do that every once in a while for sure.
Yeah, yeah. It was funny because like I had a lot of friends were like, "Oh man, you're missing work." I'm like, "Yeah, well, I'll miss it because I feel like this is so important, it's
Mhm.
necessary." And now that I'm back, it feels I don't know, I feel just I like I kind of reinvented myself in a way. It just feels new,
Mhm.
like a reset. Do you
Yeah.
do you do you think that's important for every artist to do? And do you feel like social media does kind of promote, in a way, it can be it, it does kind of pull on your mental health strings a little bit because of all the unrealistic expectations of like that
Yeah, it does.
celebrity thing.
Does. I mean, it helps if you keep in mind what it is for sure. But even if you do that, then still it's like because it's directly related a little bit to whatever you're doing, whether it's going in a good direction or not, whether it's growing or not. So yeah, it's good to keep in mind always that it's not real, but I think for the young people who are growing up, that's the hardest part because they might not always know that how much their brain is influenced by what they're seeing and how things are supposed to be, and at all ages too, actually. But um, yeah, I think it's good to realize that and take a break once in a while
Yeah,
and have and focus
absolutely.
on, you know, day-to-day connections.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Um, what advice would you give to, artists out there that are trying to get, you know, just get in this business, or people that aspiring artists that want to get into the music world?
Well, always keep just well, the first thing is the most important is that you just enjoy what you do, that you really enjoy it, and don't let any of the other stuff take that part away because then it's, never worth it. Um, yeah, and just keep working on it and keep trying and just keep getting better and enjoy that process. And then you just do what you can to get it out there and try to detach a little bit from outcome for sure. Uh, I think that's the best advice I can give.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's great advice. What do you want people to, what can fans expect from the coming year as you continue to create music?
Yeah, so I have the EP coming out now.
Ooh,
Um, Hoping to perform that live in several places.
all
And then
right.
here and there might be an acoustic track of the songs of the EP coming out too. And then I'm working on a new album for summertime. That's gonna be a little bit more, even more cheery, maybe. It's gonna be 80s vibe electronic album. Uh,
Oh,
Working on that right now, and that'll be a full album, so that'll be fun.
wow. That's gonna be fun. 80s is, oh, love the 80s. Just, the
Yeah,
costumes and the style. Oh, I can't wait. That's exciting.
yes,
That's
definitely.
exciting. And yeah, congrats on that. That's super, super awesome. Is there a quote that you have, or, something that when just when you think of it, it helps you kind of get out of maybe the if you're like in a dark time, that if you look at a quote, or you read this quote, or there's something that comes to your memory, you're like, wow, yeah, that helps me remember to keep going.
Yeah, there's a quote that helps me a lot. I would always say you can't lose what's yours because
Mm.
I do believe whatever is for you in this life, if you get back to um, a relaxed state or don't worry too much about it, whatever is yours and nobody can take it from you. Um, yeah, that, and I have practiced that with like little things when something in the store was sold out that I really love, and I'm like, dang. I was like, okay, it's if it's yours, and then I would find it later or something like that. So with little things and with big things as well. Yeah, I try to remember that.
I love that. No, that's beautiful. Because that's actually very true. What's yours is yours. I think that's just that's a really good reminder. Yeah, because there's no other person that's you. Everyone has their own carbon copy of their self, so yeah, that's so true. It's a real thing. Thank you for sharing that. I love that.
Of course.
Where can people find you on social media to follow everything you got going
They can find me on Instagram. My name is Loraine, Loraine_GIYG. GIYG stands for Growing into Your Greatness.
on?
Uh,
Ooh.
Same name, same name on TikTok. And then I have a website. It's LorraineLifeCoaching.com. There's some like information on the coaching, but you can also find my music there. What else do we have? There's so much. The
Are you on
YouTube channel,
TikTok?
Growing into Your Greatness. Yeah, TikTok is the same name as Instagram.
Nice. Are you doing TikTok dances and stuff?
Not yet. I've been like try, trying to see what is authentic for me on there because it is important to do. But more to come in 2025.
Oh, that's exciting. That's exciting. Hey, I love it. More power to you with TikTok. I tried the dancing thing. I was like, I can't do it. It's just not me. I tried though.
You can do
Um,
whatever. TikTok, whatever.
yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate your time. Thank you for sharing your journey with us. It was a pleasure. And happy
Thank
holidays, and we wish you all the best.
Same to you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And thank you all for listening. And always remember to live, love, laugh. We'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.